Welcome. Today we're going to discuss about the Manobo indigenous people of Biao, a transformed community.
Hi, good day. I'm Sophia. Join us as we unfold and discover the beneficial influence of public participation on improvements to a community as we look closely to the story of the Manobo IPS of Biao Sultan Kudarat through community engagement initiatives.
But first let's answer the 4 W's in our presentation. 1. What? Philippines Foundation the Manobo indigenous people. 2. Where? Biao an uphill community in Sultan Kudarat. 3. When? In 2010. 4. Who? Manobo indigenous people. The purpose of this foundation is to inspire and empower the marginalized and vulnerable sectors in Mindanao, using their resources from overseas Filipinos and partners in development. Pasali shall focus its service work on children as vulnerable group, on marginalized indigenous, Moro, and settler communities, and ethnic groups at risk of being stateless through development approaches that combine education, appropriate technology, disaster preparedness, community organizing, and provision of basic needs. Each approach is tested and demonstrated for effective results before being adapted in areas of expansion. The core value of Philippines Foundation are the following. First is to have respect for life. Second, to initiate community empowerment. And third, to produce innovative and creative services. While its goal is to transform education for children, improve water supply approach for marginalized communities, achieve sustainable agriculture for marginalized communities, give aid to social groups at risk of statelessness, and lastly provide institution building for the community.
Hi, I'm Kay. At this point of time, let's now focus our perspective on the situation of the area in terms of education and how Pasali came to their aid.
Originally, the community is not part of the target beneficiaries of Children's Desk but who can refuse a tribal chieftain who personally came to Pasali because he wants change in his community. Desperate for education, Chieftain Duma, also known as Dobeltu or Commander, married a high school graduate named Vilma to assist him in his affairs by translating. In 2007, he pleaded to Pasali if we can send his wife to college to become a teacher. Pasali linked her, and through the Beam project, Vilma became the first teacher in Biao in 2008, teaching 70 students ages 5 to 14 years old. Later on, they realized even if they have their own school but if families have nothing to eat, children are not motivated to go to school. Seeing the need for livelihood, Duma again came to Pasali for help. From 2009, the community received appropriate technology and trainings, all factors for increased farming and productivity. Logging and hunting are the main source of income of the people. Families don't stay in a place permanently because of nomadic lifestyle. Men don't plant but were more of warriors while their wives are the farmers. Reports of death due to starvation occurred several times. When the Manobos go in the lowland, no one talks to them, and they too don't talk with other tribes because of discrimination. The high illiteracy rate caused them to be swindled by opportunists.
Hi, I'm Marvin. Participation by project stakeholders means sharing a common understanding and involvement in the decision-making process of the project.
The list of stakeholders involved: 1. Overseas Filipinos as experts assisting Pasali institution building and programs. 2. Youth and farmers organizations. 3. Vulnerable and marginalized groups, children, communities where indigenous, Moro, and settlers coexist, people at risk of statelessness. Role of each stakeholder. 1. Overseas Filipinos as experts assisting Pasali institution building and programs. 2. Youth and farmers organizations as they make the final decisions on land use. Farmers are influenced in their decisions by a number of actors whose influence is perceived differently on a local and regional level. 3. Vulnerable and marginalized groups, children, communities where indigenous, Moro, and settlers coexist, people at risk of statelessness as a basis on the participatory sessions that will weigh the cost and benefit of the community.
Hi, I'm LA. In every initiative and in every situation, there are problems that are unavoidable.
Problems encountered and solution provided due to poverty, lack of access to education, and discrimination. The Manobo indigenous people were deprived and taken advantage. Their lives changed when they meet one foundation who helped them to have education.
Hi, I'm Alan. The transformation of this community had been a really massive change in terms of development. As I discuss this part, I hope everyone will also be inspired by their success.
In 2008, the tribe applied for a government-recognized daycare and elementary school with help from the Palembang Pasali staff and children's desk. After 2 years of schooling, the students can already read, write, and count. They can even speak and understand Tagalog and memorizing poems and songs. Despite that the teachers are lax of teaching materials, the students are learning. In 2009, Zud formally recognized the daycare center. In 2011, they eventually gained the recognition of the Department of Education. In 2012, a concrete classroom was scheduled to be built. 150 children are enrolled in grade 1 for 2012 to 2013, and 65 children go to the daycare. Last March 2011, 10 Manobo students were made honor students by the Mother Elementary School. An intervention brought a local Zud representative personally to Biao when issues arose. More children are encouraged to finish all the way to higher education. The high school Manobos are able to sustain their study in the lowland Milbek National High School by earning a keep for host families who adopted them and provide them their school needs. The elders learn literacy every Saturday through a volunteer whose compensation is shouldered by a non-Manobo village captain from nomadic living. They started living permanently. Some families from other village even migrated to Biao when they heard there's already a school and a greener pasture there. You can see that the children are very interesting in their studies. Even that they don't have the quality of education, the important are they will learn and they not become an illiterate people.
Hi, I'm Ivy. Adding to what Alan said, Pasali also helped in claiming their ancestral domain title so that what is rightfully theirs could be legally theirs in the future.
While on the process, for cooperatives planted 1 hectare of rubber tree seedling and another 10 hectares is on its way. This massive planting will help them strengthen their claim and build their economy. In terms of agroforestry, Manobos of Biao Palembang, Sultan Q. Darat received 5,000 rubber seedlings last March 31, 2012 as a result of Pasali's lobbying to the Department of Agriculture last year.